For decades, preppers have trusted one thing above all else: the bugout bag. A backpack meant to save your life, loaded with gear, gadgets, tools, and 72-hour survival essentials. But here's the uncomfortable truth. In a real crisis, your bugout bag won't save you. In fact, it might be the very thing that gets you killed. Because long before the prepper world invented backpacks full of gear, soldiers in World War II learned something brutally simple. Mobility beats weight. Simplicity beats gear. And a well-built system beats a heavy, expensive bag. Today, we're going to break down the forgotten WWII system that kept soldiers alive across continents, and why it's still the smartest way to survive when everything collapses. Let's be honest, the modern bugout bag has become a fantasy item. You see them everywhere, 70 pounds, 90 pounds, overloaded with gadgets and gear you'll never actually use. But when disaster hits, three things happen immediately. Your bag becomes too heavy, your movement becomes slow, and you become a target. Ask any experienced soldier or wilderness expert. Weight kills. Gear that looks impressive on a checklist turns into dead weight when you're scared, exhausted, and on the move. These bags fail because they're too heavy, too delicate, and they're built for comfort, not survival. Nylon tears on rubble, zippers jam with dirt and ice, plastic buckles snap in the cold.
Now, imagine running through debris or navigating a forest during a storm. Your modern bag might last one day, maybe two. World War II soldiers didn't have that luxury, so they invented something smarter. They abandoned the single large backpack for a modular system. The philosophy was simple: distribute the weight and keep your most critical gear accessible at all times. The core of their setup wasn't a bag, but a rugged canvas belt and suspenders. This foundation carried the tools for immediate survival. On this belt, they attached only what was necessary. A cartridge belt held ammunition, a canteen held water, a first aid pouch held life-saving supplies. These were the items you needed instantly, without fumbling to drop a heavy pack. For everything else, they used a small, simple pack called a haversack. It carried rations and a shelter half, a single piece of canvas that could become a poncho, a tent, or a ground sheet. Everything had a purpose. Many had several. Think about the entrenching tool, a compact shovel.
It dug foxholes for cover, served as a defensive weapon, and could even be used as a crude cooking pan. That's the principle: versatility over volume. This wasn't about having a 72-hour kit. It was about having a system that allowed you to move, to fight, and to endure indefinitely. It made the soldier an adaptable survivor, not a human pack mule. So how do we apply this today? It's not about buying a canvas haversack from 1944. It's about adopting the mindset. Build your own system. Start with a sturdy belt. Add pouches for your absolute essentials: water, first aid, navigation, protection. Keep it light, keep it simple, and practice with it. Because when everything fails, the person who can move is the person who survives. Your most important tool isn't a bag full of gear, it's a system that makes you fast, efficient, and resilient. Let's break down the World War II survival system, piece by piece, and understand why this 80-year-old kit still outperforms the modern bugout bag. Forget what you think you know about survival gear. This is different. First, the haversack. It's not a backpack. It's a rugged canvas shoulder bag. Why? Because when you're crawling under barbed wire, a backpack snags and rips. A shoulder bag doesn't. When you're marching for days, a backpack traps a river of sweat against your spine. A shoulder bag lets you breathe. It's easy to drop in a firefight, easy to sling across your chest when you're running, and it's small enough that you physically can't overpack. It forces discipline. But the real magic happens on the web belt. Instead of one giant disorganized sack, soldiers used a distributed load system. Ammo pouch, fire kit, canteen, knife, shelter tools. Each had its own home, right on the belt. Instantly reachable. Think about that. Even if you were forced to drop your haversack while crossing a river or escaping a chase, the absolute essentials were still attached to your body. You still had what you needed to fight, to make fire, to survive the night. Soldiers didn't carry tents, they carried half a shelter. Two soldiers would combine their canvas shelter halves to make a simple, effective tent. This modular thinking saved an incredible amount of weight.
And that canvas could survive a gale force storm that would shred modern nylon to confetti. For sleeping, a wool greatcoat or blanket, perhaps the single greatest sleeping system ever built. It's warm even when it's soaking wet, it's silent when you move, it's durable enough to last a lifetime, and you can sit right next to a fire without worrying about it melting into a plastic mess on your skin. This entire system wasn't just a collection of items, it was a science. And this is where it becomes genius. A modern bug-out bag puts all the weight on your spine. It pulls you backwards, it throws off your balance, it slows your reaction time. The WWII gear distributed that weight. The heavy essentials rode on the belt, supported by your hips. Lighter items went in the haversack on your shoulders. Nothing interfered with your movement. This is how an entire generation of soldiers marched across continents without collapsing. There was also a completely different philosophy at play.
Today's prepper mantra is 2 is 1 and 1 is none. But the WW2 philosophy was 1 is enough if it never breaks. They didn't carry 3 cheap knives, they carried 1 good one. They didn't pack 5 different fire starters, they carried 1 reliable kit. They focused on durability, not volume. And critically, their gear could breathe. Canvas breathes, wool breathes. Modern nylon is essentially a plastic bag. It traps moisture. Your sweat becomes cold, and that cold becomes hypothermia. WW2 gear kept you dry from the inside out. Finally, fast access saves lives. Bug-out bags bury your tools under layers of stuff. The WW2 kit kept everything at your fingertips. Knife on the belt, canteen on the hip, fire kit on your chest. Seconds matter during a crisis. And this was a system designed by people who understood that every single second counted. It wasn't just gear, it was a philosophy of survival built to work with the human body, not against it. A system built not to fail.